Hello, welcome to the video for lesson 12-3. This begins on page 14 in your notes topic, or notes packet, excuse me. This is word problems. Now, these are only two-dimensional word problems, because yes. So let's go ahead and take a look at the learning targets for this lesson. I believe this should say solve real-world two-dimensional problems using the Pythagorean theorem. Remember the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So let's go ahead and write that down. Because the more you write it, the more you will remember it. You want to build a roof for your doghouse using two right triangles as shown below. The length of the doghouse is 6 feet. Determine the dimensions of the roof truss. The truss is the triangles that make up the roof. So, how are we going to figure this out? We're not actually going to go through and solve this, but we're going to use something you may know. Now, obviously, since the length of the doghouse is 6 feet, if we were to split that in half, we would have 3 feet and 3 feet. So we know that one of the legs is going to be 3 feet. Now, if you remember from the previous lesson, we know about certain types of right triangles. And one of those types of right triangles is a 3, 4, 5 right triangle. So this could be a 3, 4, 5 right triangle. I'm not exactly sure if that is what's meant for this problem. There is not exactly enough information to say for sure what the dimensions are, but these could be the dimensions, 3 feet by 4 feet by 5 feet. If this is something else, because it is a possibility that these two right triangles are parts of a square, then this could be 3 feet and this could be 3 feet. So then what we would need here is the square root of 18 feet. But that's not a perfect square, so we're not going to do that. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the two examples on page 15. Starting with Mr. Kula wishes to buy Miss Kula a new flat screen TV. The cabinet dimensions, I'm assuming the cabinet where they put their TV, are 36 inches by 27 inches. Mr. Kula found a 42-inch flat screen on sale at Best Buy. Will the TV fit in the cabinet? Now, if you know anything about TVs, the screen is measured by the diagonal, and what we are creating is basically an upside down right triangle here. So we have our A, we have our B. What we don't have is the C, the hypotenuse, the longer side, the diagonal. So we need to find this distance here. Now we're going to find it for the cabinet. If the number that we get is smaller than 42 inches, then this TV will not fit. It'll be too big. So I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem. Oh, by the way, here is the question we are answering. I'm going to use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'll plug in my a, 27 inches, my b, 36 inches, and I'm still trying to find c. Squared. Now, 27 squared is 729. Make sure you use your calculator. Plus 36 squared is 1,296 equals c squared. Add them together, and you get 2,025. Now, to find the answer, this is not the answer, we have to take the square root. That's how we do the inverse operation here. and C equals 45. So, what that means is this cabinet can hold a TV up to 45 inches in diameter. That's what TVs are measured by. So, will a 42-inch flat screen fit in a cabinet that can hold up to 45? Yes. The TV will fit. Remember, we answer with a complete sentence. Because the cabinet can hold a screen up to 45 inches. Ta-da! Alright, so that's the first problem. Now we have another problem below, and this picture below me. Alright, I'm going to clear the screen, so pause it if you need to copy any more down. This should look familiar to you. A baseball diamond is a square with 90 feet side length. So it's 90 feet from base to base. To the nearest 10, what is the distance from home plate to second base? Now, when we're looking at this right here, it doesn't matter which side you pick. I'll pick the right side. We're dealing with a right triangle. We have the two legs, A and B. That's an A, not a 9. We're trying to find C. We don't know the hypotenuse. Remember, it's across from the right angle. It's the longest side. So we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Plug in our A, plug in our B, and try to find C. And we get 8,100 plus 8,100 equals C squared. Combine those, 16,200 feet, no, square. And then to find C, we still have to take the square root of both sides. And we get C is equal to, now this is not a perfect square, so I'm going to write down what's in my calculator. Let me move this down a little bit. 127.27922, and you can keep going, but I'll just put dot 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 feet. Okay, so that's what I get. Now to answer the question, what is the distance from home plate to second base, to the nearest 10? The distance from home plate to second base. Now, since I'm rounding my answer, I'm going to say is about, because I got to round it to the nearest 10, 127.3 feet. Period. Alright, so that's how we use the Pythagorean theorem to solve word problems. Pretty simple stuff. I'm sure it makes sense. If not, go back and rewatch the video or come and see me for help. Good luck, and we will see you in math.